Okay, I got most of the connections done and connected. A lot of the piping and hoses I just want to go over with you a little bit. Notice how I have not lowered the drum and wash tub assembly into these shock absorbers yet. I'm going to go over all the connections. Right there, that black hose, that's the drain hose out of the bottom of the tub, and I'm going to go around the back and show you. You got to make sure that all these connections are done properly. Now, if you had a failed spider gear arm, chances are all these piping and tubes down in here are probably full of debris from the broken mechanism, which I'd recommend you pull all these hoses out and clean them. This is the pump right here where the flashlight in my hand is on. I took that out and cleaned it out properly to make sure there's no debris. Every one of these models is slightly different. I'd recommend taking some photos before you take yours apart. This is the filter drain assembly. In there's the pump, that impeller. You want to make sure there's no debris in that from the broken arm. Mine was lucky, it didn't have it. It caught it in this trap mechanism there. You run all the things through. Now, also on these bolts for the shock absorbers, you need to put thread tight or thread locking liquid on those because they came from the factory that way. You don't want those things spinning out and destroying your hard work you done to put this thing together. In the back, all these, I think you can see it better without the flashlight, all these bolts that go in, I'd recommend you thread those in first with a screwdriver and then use an air ratchet and just snug them down a little bit and then check the tightness with a hand wrench. Same thing with the motor on the inside. Do not cramp those bolts down that hold the motor, the windings, because you'll break it. I did not break mine because I've done this kind of work on motorcycles and engines and stuff, so you don't want to break it. It's a 10 millimeter, these are 10 millimeters, so you just snug them down and then snug them a second time on the motor. The stator plate, the magnet, 14 millimeter, go ahead and air ratchet that down tight, and when this tightens up, it'll bring the drum back to you about 10 millimeters, which is what you want it to do. Okay? All the connections will go up here to the motor, right in there, and I'm just going to get ready to put this down on and bolt it in. Now this right here, this is a real funny kind of clamp. I don't know if you can see it okay with the video and the light, but that clamp, there's good light right there. It's a very strange one, but it works. So if it comes apart, you have to just look at it closely and figure it out. But that has to be tight on the bottom because that's where all your water comes through. Okay, now this is also where you're going to have all of your debris from the spider gear arm, all in that pipe right there. It goes into that hose, into that coupling, all the way up there to the front, to the pump. Okay, so it's coming together.